We need to up our game and shit. We need to do comedy butt naked, right?
Saying his goodbyes. He blew his eye socket off and his eyeball fell out.
White women keep kidnapping us. Y'all seen The Blind Side?
Aren't you glad we have that disclaimer at the beginning of the episode?
It's going to come in handy for this episode.
This week's episode of The Voice Party is brought to you by Big Boy Raps. Get your car wrapped by some of the most experienced and skilled in the Bay. Big Boy Raps, where the big boys play.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Voice Party Podcast. I'm here sitting at my own table today because we don't have Corday. I got Black Joaquin right here. What's up, dog? How you doing?
Hey, man. Glad to be here.
I got Marcos here looking like he just took hella heroin. What's cracking?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I got Phil's in the ones and twos. What's up, Phil? Making podcasts great again?
Podcast and America.
Oh, you fuck. I knew you were going to say that shit.
I hate that hat
Already
so
up
much.
to a bad start. We got a very special guest here today. Make some noise for Ricky Antonio.
Hey, appreciate y'all for having me.
Thank you for being here, man.
Thank you for being here, bro. How you doing, man?
Man, not too bad. You know what I mean? Just in the middle of this run of releasing this movie and brand new music and different things. So
Talk about that movie.
yeah, well, the latest movie on this series of movies that I've been releasing is called Charlotte.
Oh,
and it stars a song that's titled Charlotte as well, and it's produced by DJ TNT. And so we put together a project, a new EP that we just put out. It's called Lover, but it's spelled like Lovher. And so I like to put out like some like dope visuals. So we kind of like we went in. We had some dope special like actors. Acting is like one of my passions, like something that I really like. Delve into, like taking different classes and shit for.
You were in a drama class, right?
Right, with my boy Corday.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't in there with him, but we had the same professor.
You were in Kathy's drama class.
Man,
right?
rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
You knew her as well?
So that's how I met Corday.
Okay.
Because I like stand up and I went to the shows.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you were there too. You did.
Man, rest in peace to Miss McCarthy, because that was she was a dope ass teacher, and honestly, bro, that class right there expanded me so much. It was drama at the junior college, and we was doing everything from like stand up stuff. We was doing like Shakespeare, improv, all kind of shit. Yeah. So I really took that class to because I knew before that I was doing like YouTube videos, maybe about like 15-minute like improv videos, and I was just releasing them on like Facebook before Instagram I kind of even existed.
Right, that was like Facebook and MySpace, huh?
Exactly, Facebook, MySpace.
I think
YouTube,
I remember seeing those.
Like that.
I remember seeing those.
So I was good looking, bro.
Yeah.
And so at that time I was doing that, so I had like a huge interest in acting, and so the counselor told me about that class up there, and so I decided to take it, man, and that was like one of the best things I could ever did, bro. Like, yeah, and rest in peace to her, because she taught me so many tools and different acting skills and exercises and things like that resonate with me to the day, that I use to the day. So,
and a lot of the people in that class are still connected to either acting or comedy.
That's true. Yep.
Like that. We're in that.
They
you were
are.
there with Johan, right? Johan and Jose Lopez. Like I remember.
I might have to see him.
You know Gaspar for sure.
That's my dog. Yeah, Gaspar. That's my dog. We had a couple class projects up in the class together.
We could only mention his name twice. This is a minimum mentioning
for legal reasons.
He's banned from the Voice Party.
I dare to ask why.
Nah, we started this with him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then he just started flaking, and then we're like, "That's it, you're fucking
we
fired."
mentioned him
Dog.
more
But he
than
quit
twice.
before.
We owe that guy.
Is our homeboy though. We just
he's
give him a
totally
hard time.
That's funny. Okay. As long as y'all ain't beefing.
No. Every time I see him, it looks like he just came from the forest and shit. You know, like
With a new enlightenment for you. He like, bruh, I just took some shrooms out in the forest. Guess what the hell I saw?
oh shit. It's funny because he used to headline those shows back in the day. Remember, he used to come out with the guitar. Yeah.
Now, shout out to Gaspar.
Oh yeah, that's our boy, man. We love that guy.
That class was dope, man. We did a lot of like little projects like that where on
Filmmaking
film,
too, right?
and a lot of different things. So, and that's, I don't even want to say how long ago that was, but
12 years ago.
man, something like that. Yeah, like 12 years ago. So some of those be popping up on Facebook. That was a dope ass class, bro, and played a big integral part in me and who I am as a creator, period. Like, so I have, like, even aside from going viral and becoming like this hella viral ass person from like my E40 impression and other skits and little series that I used to do, I had already had this love for acting that you can see from me taking like a class like that and like getting up there in front of the class quoting Shakespeare. Like, I mean, serious. For me, like, I ain't never had done anything like that in my life, like coming from Richmond, and like I wasn't put in like an arts class and things like that, but like that was an interest that I had, and like taking that class, it just expanded me like crazy. I remember being up there quoting, I couldn't believe I was up there quoting Shakespeare in front of 30 people like that I didn't know and shit. But that was, it was raw though. It was raw, yep.
Yeah, because I remember, like, you know, I didn't have I don't know if I did I went to Richmond High. And I don't remember. Oh, you did too? When did you graduate?
05.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah.
So we spent a year together in Richmond.
What year?
08.
Okay.
Yeah. And
so you was up there with my boy Wendell Eli now.
Yeah.
It was my dogs. We was hooping and all that on the hoop team.
Damn.
We was running it up back there.
Damn. So that I just saw a picture yesterday. It's been like 10 years since I did our first like we did a 5-year reunion. Like when you say like, I don't even think about how long
that's what I'm saying. I ain't finna put it, man. You ain't finna have me add it up. I ain't about doing it.
I remember a lot of those, like, you know, like, I mean, I wasn't even part of that class, and it had an impact on me because I started stand up through that class.
That's dope. That's hella rough.
And I still, to this day, you know, that's why I started this.
Did you end up meeting her?
I never did the show, but through the show, I started a show with, like, I did shows on the side myself from Corday and Johan. Because of that.
Oh, that's dope. That's fire.
Said, that's why it's dope, because that impacted a lot of people.
Nah, that type class is hella inspirational, bro. And it wasn't just her that was my professor. I actually got dual professor, so it was hella raw. It was one of the first times I actually had. I didn't do hella time in college, but like, it sound like prison, huh? I didn't do hella time at Rikers.
Contra Costa. Yeah.
I did hella time in Contra Costa, bro, with West County, but nah, but
Contra Costa Correctional College.
Right. But we had 2 wardens, you know what I mean? No, we had 2 professors. It was hella dope. And my other professor was Professor Ivory. He still do plays and different things like that. He was raw as fuck, man. They instilled so much into me, like, pause about just the different shit. It was cool. It was dope.
So of the plays you were in, what was the best play in your mind, or the best performance that you were able to deliver during that time?
That's a good question. That's a good question. I think in that particular class, I really shined in the improv portion of it. We used to do like a lot of the games that whose line is it anyway?
Oh yeah,
a lot of those games. So a lot of portion of our class, we would for a couple weeks we would like focus on just hella improv games, and we had to research the games and different shit, and then come in ready and prepared. I went so crazy improv. That's naturally like something I'm hella good at. But also I challenged myself as well though. So when it came to like I keep saying, the Shakespeare part, like that was so out of my element, like, but I challenged myself. Like, I mean, partially me going to the junior college is not because like I hella cared academically, but I was trying to challenge myself at that point in my life. You feel me? And just so I took the challenge and different things, and then would ask my professors hella questions, and so I think the book The Glass Menagerie, if I remember correctly, we did a portion from that we had to present to the class. I went crazy on everything I did in that class. I really excelled. They really pushed me and like motivated me to keep going. They was always like, bro, you should like keep creating. Like at that time I was already doing music and different things too. They were already buying my CDs and different merchandise and everything. That's what, 12 years ago. So they've been like big supporters and advocates of mine. And that's before I had went like mega viral, like hella like millions of views and shit like that. So I was just kind of like learning the tools, the real tools behind the craft of acting, like, and so that was hella raw for me.
And
you've mentioned Shakespeare twice, and as somebody who has the entire like collection of his works at home,
Say that.
What play?
It was Shall I Compare Thee to a Summer's Day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate.
Well, you got to get up when you do that. You gotta, you know what's a trip about like I got offered one time a role to play. It was in CC too. I wasn't even going to CC, but they offered me to audition because they was like, you're the only one that's gonna audition for it. So it was to audition as damn, I forgot his name, Diego Rivera. The Mexican painter guy, fat guy.
I have to see him.
Yeah. But I got intimidated, man. More intimidating than stand up because it's like you can't. I mean, you could freestyle. I'm sure you could freestyle, but it's like, especially Shakespeare, like that shit sounds even more.
Exactly right.
Because one, this shit's been around for years. Like it still stands the test of time.
Exactly that part.
It's just that shit.
Like,
Everything's fire.
Like fired in a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like concepts, how he delivered it.
The pressure of performing that shit on stage.
I think one thing that the class really taught me and that I carry with me everywhere is that free yourself of the role. Like I used to be like a little self-conscious in the class, like kind of being there trying to be like kind of cool or certain shit, and then I'm like, how am I gonna like dive into Shakespeare? Like, how am I supposed to be up here and it look right with me quoting him? You feel me?
Right.
In front of y'all. So I used to ask my professors a lot of questions, and they just taught me a lot of different shit. And one of the concepts was like, when you dive into a role, just it's not you no more. It don't even represent you. It's not who. Like when you walk away from it, it's the role.
It's
you
not.
get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People would place it on you and different things like that. But you as an artist and that as a craft, you're literally like diving into
the role.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be true to the concept. If not, then leave it alone. Like let somebody else do the shit.
Like your boy Jamar told us when he was up here when he did he was in the movie Life. With Eddie Murphy, and he told me that. Remember that the story he shared about how he went to not the same people that taught Eddie Bernie Mac, but like in the same kind of school where they told him like, you know, for acting, like the way you walk, you can't walk like that in character. The way you talk for yourself, you can't talk like that in character.
You're
like
freeing of you.
Yeah, you get rid of everything that's you, and this is all you. And that's just hard.
It is, and I think it takes like. Not like that, but like a class or like diving. Even if you have like I think it's always dope to refine your skills anyway. Even if you have like a natural gift or something. So that was kind of like me like refining, and it was dope. It opened me up so many different ways, bro. Like
you use it for everything, not just in acting. Like
it's actually life lessons and shit. Like one of the other ones that Professor Ivory taught me. He said to live truthfully in the moment. And that was another acting skill and phrase that he had taught me, like as far as like freeing yourself of it. Like, okay, like, but forget everything else that happened during the day or what else is on your mind. Like, live truthfully within the moment of the script or whatever the piece is that you're, you know what I mean, that you're bringing to life. And that's definitely a concept I carry in real life. Like, because you can be in all kind of moments and situations and not be there. You can be with your loved ones and mentally like be somewhere else and like miss the moment or be in a rush or different things like that. But I think it's like hella important to live in truthfully in the moment, bro. That's like crazy.
Yeah, and it's not just like you said. It's not just artists that do that. Because I remember talking to this dude. He was an investigator and he would see like, you know, crime scene shit, and he's like, you kind of. Like you say, take yourself out of that. I'm just here to find out who killed this fool or whatever.
Zeesh.
And then once you get home, you turn it off.
Zeesh.
And like, you know.
That part. Yeah, exactly.
It's not just us that do it.
That part.
Like one of my homies said, you got acting skills? Like, shit, I do customer service. You should come see.
Hey, you should come see my acting skills. Top tier, man. You should see my customer service voice goes from Harvard.
I'm going to pretend I'm happy with this paycheck, yeah.
That part, man.
What is it about acting specifically that like draws you in though?
Do
you feel like it's an escape at all? to be someone new?
That's a good question. Yeah, it is, and it is that too. But I think
it's fun to do that.
And it doesn't have to be like in a bad, like not an escape,
not
like
in a
just
bad or
all the
good
time.
way, right?
Yeah,
it's kind of indifferent, but it's also like kind of like what he said. It's kind of fun. It's kind of exciting.
Right. Yeah,
like because you have your reality that you live in. You have who you are, who you've been your whole life. But to be able to dive into someone else's life, but truthfully though, to like give this person, like we used to have to give care. So where does he come from? What's his sister's name?
Right.
What elementary did he go to? Did he excel? Did he have good grades?
Right.
What is he like? Is he allergic to anything? Like we had to create all kind of things to create a real person.
Right.
So I think that's hella dope to dive into a whole nother person's reality almost.
Yeah.
Like
and put it on.
It's
on film, like
it's actually hella,
exactly.
It's hella funny that you just mentioned what is he allergic to? You know what I mean? Because like that's no, but it like it's certain things, right?
You want to make him feel. He gotta feel real.
You gotta feel real.
Yeah, it gotta
like,
be
what's
like
something
a
in
person.
my day-to-day life that like
that affects
like,
you.
I know I can't. I'm allergic to pollen. I cannot.
That's
roll
what
around
I
in
was about to
grass.
say.
You know what I mean?
Me too, man.
Like,
shout out to allergies because they've been kicking my ass right
kicking
now.
my ass, yeah. But like, so I know I can't necessarily go do that, right? But if I'm like playing a character, I'm like, cool. What do I, how do I act on a daily basis? What's my day to day like?
Yeah,
exactly.
That's
bringing them to real life,
right?
Like, Marlon Brando
details.
when he took the Godfather role, like, he just read the script, but then he read the actual book of that the script was based on. And he saw that there's something about that he got shot in the throat at one point. So when he went back to actually film it, he was like,
exactly.
The
details.
The
details. Yeah. I think that a class like that forces you to it's almost like basketball, like because when you're taught the skill of basketball, it's really taught all the way down to the fundamentals, and it breaks the game all the way down totally. And so therefore, like even in a game like acting, like you're forced to look at it all the way to its smallest, and then like what is he allergic to, like what is he like, what is his hobbies like, because that all affects who he is and how he interacts with people. Like is he a people person, is he an introvert, is he an extrovert, you feel me? Like that all affects how he comes across on screen. So
because if you watch movies and you watch it, you notice that, like that's your first
for sure. I'm picking up on all the little habits, and I'm like, oh, okay, he's not really talking like that, or he's passive aggressive. Like it's all kind of
that's what like I don't know. I mean, kind of like what he asked on my perspective, like what it is about acting that's calling is like one, like we like watching like diving into a role is dope because it's something you've never done, and it might be something you never experienced either. Just same like the reason people like watching like horror movies or stuff like that. It's scary, but I'm not gonna experience that shit.
That ain't necessarily what I'm going through.
And it's dope to escape that just for a little bit.
That part. I think my boy Damson Idris is on. Am I saying his name correctly? The actor, he was in Snowfall.
Oh yeah.
My boy said he had to pray. He said he had to pray to the devil to finish the rest of that. I'm like, he said, man, he had to go to church.
He said he was having nightmares and shit, and then that's what the crazy thing about it is, like when you're at that level, sometimes you take a role and that shit'll fuck your mind up.
Yeah, they take a hold of you, and then it depends on like how sometimes you're in those characters for a long time and they become like a part. Like I hear like different actors got to shake those roles like crazy. That's hella interesting to me.
Take
do you
time off in between shootings just to get it out?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So do you find yourself wanting to do more like serious acting with the music, like as far as music videos, visuals, and stuff like that? Because I know,
like those 12-minute Michael Jackson videos.
Well, no, not even just that. I mean, that's cool. But like, I'm talking more like as far as storylines in videos and visuals and stuff. Yeah. Because like, I'm in a band, and it's like I know it's super easy to do the typical put us in a room with all our instruments and perform kind of videos, right? But then it's like a really interesting thing when you like want to put a story behind it. That part. And those are like those are my favorite things because it's the times like I get to act a concept video.
That part.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's funny you said that, bro, because I'm actually in the middle of working on this big ass movie. It's kind of like a rap hip hop musical short film of sorts. and it's called Get Dough. It's actually named after after my merchandise. It got the same name of it, and it's it has a comedic but also serious storyline at the same time. It starts off with like us robbing a bank, and it's comedy but it's serious at the same time, and it incorporates about 6 songs from my EP Get Dough. I released 2.5 years ago.
Oh, it's like a musical.
Yeah, so it jumps into acting and out of it, and then go back into the. So yeah, I've been actually kind of doing a concept like that I'm wrapping up. In totality, it's going to be about 50 minutes long. Okay. That I'm trying to present to streaming services and have like a big release, like a movie theater release type shit.
That's cool. That's who made someone famous made something like that where there was like a short film but with hella songs in it. Wasn't it R. Kelly?
Oh shit.
Oh, you mean the Trapped in the Closet?
Oh shit.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to.
No, but you know what though?
My boy walk up out of here. He walked up out of here. Yeah, that's a step in the name of love.
No, but you know what?
Like the Beyonce vehicle, the hip hopera was
right. There's another one too.
MGK did that. MGK and Jeezy did that.
Hamilton.
That's a good one.
All I would say is I appreciate you guys comparing me with the greats. That's what I will say.
Yeah.
No, but those are some bad names.
But that's actually, you know what though? That's actually a really great idea, I think, for artists, because like, especially like, you know, we talk about albums are kind of dying out, especially for indie artists and stuff like that, if you don't have that fan base. But like, if you can put out an album and instead of dropping a single like video every month trying to get people to do that, you release kind of a movie, right? Like a musical
collage
movie with all it, and it's just music video after music video technically.
You throw it on a reel on Instagram.
But seriously, but you know what I mean?
Sound like y'all validated.
And that's like that's cool. Like you get to tell a little bit of a story of you can narrate what the album is supposed to. You know what I mean?
A great idea. A great idea.
Y'all sound like y'all been in on my little meetings and shit. Y'all definitely sound like.
It's because
like, check my. Y'all got a wire on me.
No, because
it's something that we've all talked about too. You know what I mean? Like it's something that's interesting to a lot of people. Every artist, I think, to some extent, wants to dabble in a little bit of everything, you know,
and change it up
a little bit. Like I have so much fun when I'm acting. I don't get to do it often, and I'm not like passionate enough to go out on auditions.
Right.
But it is a really fun thing that I get to do, and when I get to do it, I have a lot of fun.
And it's also like back in the days. It's like a dope thing because back in the days, you name, actors, they did acting, singing, they did all
that part. All entertainer,
that.
You was
entertainer,
all
like vaudeville stuff.
So that was what I'm trying to do is I'm marrying my two of my passions, which is so I took a break from music, and when I did that, I turned up on kind of my independent acting, going viral type of situation, and was killing it. Like I was going like super viral. So when I came back to music, I wanted to this plan that I kind of been talking about for hella long. I wanted to marry the two of the music and the acting. So this is me really marrying both of my passions. And so over this 2.5 year span so far, I have been releasing one video, and then a couple months later releasing another one. But if you watch them together, it's one stream storyline, exactly, if you pay attention to it. But I haven't even been putting that part on blast until I finish it all the way up.
Have you thought about combining them into one video to like put out like an official album movie?
Well, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna combine it all together into one about 50-minute short film that I'm even trying to see how far I can even present it to like streaming services. Like even like Tubi been fucking with niggas. So I might see what Tubi holler about, man.
That's dope because like right now with the whole thing about 1 minute reels, 1 minute, I like seeing some of that shit, but it's also like a part of me that like grew up watching old movies and shit. I love the storytelling aspect of it, man. And that's kind of like missing right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You're right.
That's why I like stand up.
People love that quick comedy. That's the reels
that's
here.
Like quick 1, 2
here and gone real quick.
And that's why I like watching like some stand up specials where it's a it's like a big ass story, and you notice you laugh at callbacks. It's like, oh, it's like started from the story. It's
exactly.
like,
Those kind of techniques that you notice in stand up is dope as fuck. You're like, oh yeah, he set us up for that earlier and brought it back up, and you already knew he led you up to it again.
And it's not even funny, but I heard that from the beginning.
Exactly. Right. It resonates. It sit with you well.
You're almost waiting for it now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That takes art. That's an art. That's actually something you develop. You know that as a stand-up artist. Like that's something like they teach you that in the class to. Yeah, they even like we had a stand-up segment in that class, so that shit was raw too.
And that's what I like about the whole connecting one big ass story. Like like what, because I heard an interview with like one of my favorite musicians where he was like, hey, do you think, because he was part of like two or three different bands in his whole lifetime. It's like, you think you'll ever reconnect with that first band? And he is like, as a listener, you want that, but like if you listen to my, like I think of my music as one big ass piece, one big ass art piece. And this is where we are at this part of the story
now, so it wouldn't even make sense in the storyline to even. Did they respawn? Come back to life?
Yeah, exactly.
Within the storyline, that's interesting. That's interesting.
You see your stuff like that too, like where it's like
definitely.
Yeah.
Yep, definitely. We definitely been on a whole like story. I can't wait. We're definitely at the finish line of the whole movie thing now. Like it's been a big process. I've had shout out to world famous Hot Boys, the chicken sandwich in Oakland. We shot one of the movies up in there. We act like I was on part of my bank robbery escape is I made a run to my boy King Sato. Shout out to my boy. He was the getaway driver initially on the in the storyline at the beginning, and then I escaped with all the money, and he had to go get a job at world famous Hot Boys.
That's great.
Making chicken.
That's how it was.
And so I'm on the run, and I need a hideout. It's called The Plug. It's on my YouTube too. Okay. So I'm on the run, and I need somewhere to hide out. I'm like, bro, throw me an apron. I need a job real quick. So he throw me an apron, and we go in there and I almost make him lose his job that he has to have because I left him out the money of the bank robbery that I set up and had him help. Yeah, they risked all their freedom, and they're on the news, but.
Hella funny.
Hey, we're in the subject of food. You got your own burrito at El Tucan.
Hey, shout out to El Tucan, man.
Wait, what?
And the rich. That Ricky Antonio. You ain't had the Ricky Antonio burrito, bro?
But I will soon.
You been to El Tucan?
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to El Tucan, man. My boy Alfredo.
I saw that. I saw you got your own the Ricky. What's it called? The Ricky Antonio.
Ricky Antonio red burrito. So we created.
Describe it to the people. Describe
it. We created a birria burrito. So I'm from Richmond, right? Boy, your eyes got big when I said the burrito, bro. He looking at me like I'm all ears. Hey, so I love the birria, right? The birria tacos, quesadilla, and all that. Somebody had introduced me to that, and then I was like, always thinking about the concept of like a birria burrito. And what is this like? This is like a year and a half. Is this like 2 years ago at this point? So it was kind of before everybody kind of got all these birria burritos and tacos you see now. And so I do a lot of like different things with the community in Richmond. We had the Ricky Antonio Rich City Day where we had Rich City Rides, right? Yeah, exactly. Shout out to Rich City Rides, man. We had the Ricky Antonio Rich City Day where we had like basketball tournament. We had a big rap concert. Horses came out where the kids were able to ride and different things like that. And so El Tucan was kind of celebrating someone from the community that's been working with the kids and in different capacities. And so they was like, man, let's do a Ricky Antonio burrito. Yeah.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah. So
talk about it.
Hey, man, go slide through there. Go slide through El Tucan, man.
How many free burritos? Unlimited or?
I shall not say, man.
Okay.
But shout out to El Tucan. We actually we did one of my songs that went viral is I'm Trippin'. It's called I'm Trippin', and I did a remix to it with Mr. Fab and Mitchie Slick. And so we shot part of it at El Tucan.
Oh, damn.
Okay. So part of the video was shot there at Tucan. Yeah.
How much? Arms Steady. Easily one of my favorite West Coast rap groups of all time. Mitchie Slick doing that.
You feel me?
You know?
And he slid out here to the Rich and came to El Tucan. And not even just that, the night before I threw a concert and Mitchie Slick, he came and rapped and everything. I had Work Dirty come and rap. He signed with Sick With It with E40 and shit. We had a bunch of people. My boy Trill
Are
Lee.
you independent or are you signed?
Yeah, I'm independent. So I'm an independent creator, just all around, acting and also musically.
That song hit hard, man. Like I saw it,
bro.
I saw it passed around by people not even from Richmond.
Hey,
on my IG.
Hey,
sharing
Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg did posted our dribble challenge a few times.
Cool.
Baby Bash.
How does that feel when you see a legend like Snoop?
Man, shout out to Snoop, man. It's just out, man. Shout out to Snoop Dogg, man. I got to meet Snoop Dogg too, out in Oakland, and it was after he's posted me a couple times. This was after the first time he had posted me. He had came to Oakland to Mr. Fab store, and so this was my first. I didn't know. You know, sometimes people when you're viral, sometimes people repost you. You know, but you don't know if they necessarily know you. They could have picked it up from someone else's page.
Like it was a funny ass video.
Exactly. Right. Could be
this.
from a third party page and not even necessarily your page. You know what I mean? So, we were. My boy, shout out to Saito. I was with my boy King Saito, and I was taking this picture for it with him and Snoop and shit, and they was doing their little picture, and he was introducing me to Snoop. He was like, Snoop, this Ricky Antonio, he be doing the E40, man. Snoop interrupted me. He said, man, I know who he is. And I was like, oh shit, what's up with it? And so then we took a dope ass picture and video.
That's cool.
So yeah, like I said, I wasn't even for me, and he my screensaver right there.
Yep.
I done had it since then. He was like, "What's up, nephew?" And then he threw the arms out with me.
Yeah.
So big love to Snoop. That's honestly for me. That's so monumental. That's a guy I grew up my whole life. You grew up listening to Snoop. I'm from the West Coast, from out here. You know,
from Richmond.
So
right?
from Richmond, my whole life. So you grew up listening to Snoop and Dre and all that. You know what I mean? And shout out to DJ Pooh too, who's also part of Snoop's camp.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he follows me on Twitter and
IG.
fucking IG for a while now, and supports a lot of my comedy and different things like that. So
you just touched on it. Like I know you from the Richmond area, but like how did I grew up in Richmond too, and it looks like we're like a few years apart. So you were there when it was Richmond.
Richmond. Nah, right.
How do you
graduate?
And now that
do you hear me?
You had the for example, I remember when you had the Ricky Antonio Day. I couldn't make it, but I did remember hearing about it. And just to think that like a block party in that part of town.
Man, that part.
How do you feel about everything that's changed in Richmond?
That was dope, bro, because honestly, I grew up right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a lot of my darkest and hard times took place right in that same area, in that community. So we wanted to bring some light and bring some dope ass energy to the same situation. So we had horses on the block where that block you don't even really have like different stuff like that. Kids blowing bubbles and we writing like peaceful things on the ground, like with chalk and different things. I mean, honestly, things like that for me is hella dope, bro. Hella fulfilling and shit. So
it's come a long way,
man. That part,
because I do shows at El Garaje.
Okay,
at the
there,
restaurant.
right?
Yeah,
okay.
We do comedy shows there, and
okay.
And when comics see the GPS pictures at first, they're like, "Ooh."
You're right, man. Especially down there, you know. That's central down there, man. Richmond, growing up in the rich, definitely. That's a whole story within itself.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because you work with kids now, right?
Yeah. I've been working with kids for a while. I've been coaching. I also teach kids how to make music and different things. Even my boy you said looked like Duno. He used to be one of my students right there. That was my dog. Yeah.
Wow.
He was 12 years old in my after school program class where I was teaching kids how to rap, how to make music, how to produce music, and kind of the behind the scenes of how to run like an independent label if you desire to do that for yourself. Wow. And also we used to break down the history of artists. So if our subject was Nipsey Hussle for the week, we would print out a Nipsey Hussle song that I felt like they should be up on, and then so we would go line for line and kind of break it down and what did Nipsey mean, almost like it was literature. We would break it down.
I mean, it is.
You know what I mean? And it really is. It really is. So that's the way we would break it down like that. If we needed to define words for the class, we would do that, and then they would get a real scope as far as who these artists were.
That's important, man, because it's something about when I first started stand up, I really didn't know much about stand up other than the Comedy Central dick jokes and shit like that. But then once you actually dive into like, Lenny Bruce was arrested for saying fuck on a microphone. And you look at the history of this shit, it takes it like it turns into something more serious in your mind.
That part,
then,
no lies.
Do the research.
That part, stand up has always been something I love, bro. Like as far as watching, and shout out, I got a bunch of dope stand up artists or like people that I look up to that supports me, bro. It's crazy to me. From Sinbad to
no way,
bro. Sinbad that's
one of my favorites.
Bro, Sinbad been supporting my content for a long time. Shout out to Sinbad and prayers to Sinbad too. Hope he's prayers to Sinbad right now, man, for sure. And also Jay Farrow. He been supporting me for a while, but he just followed me like 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
But he been like in the DMs, he always been like showing love, but he just followed me. My boy Red Grant, who he's a comedic great. He who else? My boy, like I said, DJ Pooh. It's so many that support me and mess with me. It's crazy. Lavelle Crawford.
Yeah.
One of my favorite comedians of all time. He was out here for his birthday.
Tommy T's, right?
No, a few months ago he was out here for his birthday, and he had at Oracle Arena.
Oh yeah,
and he actually gave me free tickets and had me come through and had me and my cousin backstage, and like we talked to him and got video with him and picture with him and all of that. And then he just came, and that was his birthday. And then my birthday just passed, a week ago, and he was out here again. Just so happened at Tommy T's, and then I wanted to go see him again. So shout out to Lavelle Crawford, man. That's big love for real.
That's dope about like you talked about, like Snoop remembered you and all that,
man.
And I've gotten to meet some of my heroes too.
Wait. Not remembered you, knew who you were,
bro.
That's a different.
I wasn't ready for that. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, cause I was kind of nervous. Like, this Snoop Dogg, man.
Like he discovered you.
Who big that?
You weren't sending him DMs. Exactly. Like, hey, is this who I am?
He like posted him. I was like, oh shit, we viral, bro.
You know, that's what I was saying. Like, that's a dope thing about like when like established artists take time to talk to younger guys.
Part to actually say
like
that.
When I met Dion Cole, I went backstage at the Paramount show.
That's dope. I fuck with Dion Cole.
And he was, man. When I introduced myself, it was like, oh, what's up? You just backstage, cool. But then my homie said he's a comic too. He like left his entourage to come talk to me about stand up. Like,
oh, that's dope.
Straight
bro.
up.
That's dope. That's fire.
I guess
that
artists
compassion right there.
Well, that and then just artists really like talking to other artists. Like
there's a good, like a cool not saying per se, but it's like there's the hometown heroes, right? That don't ever really go anywhere because they think they're better than everyone. They're blah blah blah. They don't want to help other people out. You know what I mean? It's like they're stuck in their gatekeepers per se, like of nothing really. And then there's those people that know what it takes, that know what it's like to be where you're at right now. Sorry, not you specifically, but like
up and comers.
But you know what? Up and comers and stuff like that. And so when you see those guys like Snoop, like who'd you say, Dion Cole?
Man.
You know what I mean? Like, yo, we were at your spot like 10, 15 years ago. And it's like, I'm here to help you out. You know what I mean?
That part, that is very validating, especially to like, when you're an independent creator or somebody pursuing their journey, those kind of things are like, they keep you going. You know what I mean? Like right when I just seen Lavelle Crawford for my birthday, maybe 2 weeks ago, first thing he says to me, it's like, hey, that new music, bro, that new song you dropped, fire. I'm like, bro, what? Because some of these big artists, they're not necessarily liking or commenting.
They get a lot of shit thrown at them too.
Right, but they see or they absorb it and they remember. So if they see you, they'll bring it up to you. Like even like Noriega, like y'all know Noriega from Drink Champs. Shout out to Nori, man. I went viral for a Noriega comedy maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, and Nori reposted that, and ever since then we've been cool and locked. That's cool. And so he slid out here to Oakland earlier this year.
Had a brunch,
It was Fab Brunch, Mr. Fab, and so I slid there, And then since then I grew my beard out of shit. So I walked up on Nori. There's hella people in there. I show him the video. He look at it. He say, "Bro, that's you." And then he go crazy, lose his mind. And then we do a dope ass video that I posted on my social media. So just having those kind of people that you do look up to, or that you have looked up to, like
validated.
It's so raw, bro. It's
and
dope.
they respect you for it too.
And they respect your craft and what you do.
Yeah.
Like it's not like just because you're like a content creator on social media that they're looking like you like below. Like people are really monetizing their accounts. Like people really out here making money. People really out here selling merchandise and getting acting gigs and movie roles and different things off of this shit.
Right.
So they're not looking at you like below it. They looking at you like, hey, bro, like look, he do it. This a different style. It wasn't here before. You feel
5
me?
years
It wasn't
ago,
here.
right?
Yeah, it wasn't here. It's different.
One of my boys, he's a comic. He was at a same hotel as Russell Peters. And he said Russell Peters was excited that another comic was in that same hotel. Even though he told him at the end of the night, he's like, hey man, like the only difference between me and you is I've been doing it longer and I got more followers. So keep grinding.
Keep going. Keep going. Oh,
Right, so you just name dropped a bunch of people.
Man.
Do you ever take a step back and just like comprehend what you just said?
Sheesh, that's
or
from where you started.
From where you, not even from just where you start, just what you have right now, right?
That's a good question. Man.
Or is your mindset still, hey, that's cool, I got it for like a second, like I know it's cool, but like
but
now
you grind,
but you're still grinding, you're still going. Not that it's a bad thing, because I think a lot of people just forget to like just be like, hey man, like I did
doing
that.
pretty good. Yeah,
Man.
I did that. Like even if I'm not the richest person right now, I'm not this and that, but I'm blessed, dude. I got that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I got these guys.
You know,
Snoop Dogg enjoyed my music.
Man, hey, look, man, Baby Bash, BET, man, shout out to BET. They had me. I went to an audition for BET about 6 years ago, and it was for a 50 Cent show. I didn't end up making it on, but they hit me on my Instagram and was like, bro, like we saw one of your videos.
How many people
viral
did they
and
do
shit.
that to out of the millions of people?
Exactly. Shit was crazy. I flew to Hollywood from Richmond.
Especially in today's world where everybody sends shit over.
That part.
Yeah.
But so they came to you.
That part.
Power.
So to answer your question, bro, honestly, I think in life, I think it's really important to stop and reflect. Like, even if you haven't reached what you consider to be the Z in your alphabet, like, you gotta celebrate little journeys and little accomplishments.
Celebrate each letter.
Or you gotta celebrate every letter, bro. Like, toast to that shit like a motherfucker. Like, you have to. That's how I feel. Like, that's a concept that I live with. You know what I mean?
What constitutes
but I think you
the
also do get caught up in the grind, though.
Yeah.
You do get caught up in like, but damn, like I'm out of area. Like, damn, I'm trying to get here. Like, this is this. Like this, I'm trying to like.
No matter how
cool,
good
that's
it
dope.
goes.
Yeah, like this person love it, support me, but you have this goal that you want to obtain in your mind
Your
that you're
Z
than to
gets
get
farther
to.
and farther every time you
Shit.
You know what I mean? Like next thing you know, there's like Chinese.
You like hold on. You look around. You like, how the hell did Z get way?
You're like, why is there Egyptian hieroglyphics before the Z?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you're
Right,
adding letters
exactly.
and
You didn't realize from this letter to that letter was gonna be such long of a jump. That's a concept I kind of been floating around though. That concept of an alphabet. I think you got to make shorter alphabets too, though.
Yeah.
Like, because you can have a long term like alphabet, like ZB way out there, but you got to also have these little journeys and races that you finish, that you toast to, and that you keep going on a longer one too as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because so you ever catch yourself thinking, or you're blessed, you're grateful that it didn't happen too young, where it could have destroyed you, because that's what happens a lot to a lot of guys.
Nope, you ain't lying.
So
you ain't lying.
Having that maturity and perspective.
Yeah,
not ready for it.
Growing as an artist is a whole different thing too. You know,
for sure.
Just ask Justin Bieber.
I think for me as well, like I've been in this kind of like artistry for so long and been such a grounded person for so long that like I don't know if that was maybe necessarily my worries, but no, that what you said is like 100% real. We see that happening to a lot of young artists today. You know what I mean?
You're not locked in as a man yet.
Exactly.
Where you're getting
I think because of my life and because of my circumstances and how they feel, I had to be locked in as a man at an early as a kid.
Age,
You feel me? So when it came to like maturity and being a grounded person and a realized dude and somebody responsible, and I've been that. You feel me? Like I've been performing and kind of been doing my entrepreneur thing since a young age. I found a DVD it was from 2008. If I didn't have my PS4, I put it in my PS4 pause and it played, bro. I'm like, wow, this is 2008. I was performing and like in front of like hella people and like selling merchandise and people chanting my lyrics to my songs and my concepts and like ideas and shit like that. Was crazy. You know what I mean?
That does something to your brain.
It does, bro. So like I was telling my boy on the way here that in high school I used to leave high school a little early. They had this Richmond channel. I don't even know if everybody knew about the Richmond channel, but it shows everything Richmond basically, and you see the different meetings they have, the town hall meetings, but you also see
like C-SPAN for Richmond,
that part, right? Exactly.
There was a specific show for Richmond. It was like shoot. We're gonna have to look this up. I think you know what I'm talking about too.
That's the one he's talking about.
Me and my band were on it.
School board meetings.
Well, I think they had multiple shows though, because the actual studio was in El Cerrito. It was like a Comcast studio, but they had the big cameras and shit like that in there. And I was telling him, man, I was 15, 16, up in there shooting different things with the older guys, the older creators that I was with at the time, and we was all up in there shooting different acting concepts. I'm like, when I look back at the track record, like I've been in love, like kind of with this. I would leave from that. We would do that on like a Thursday. I would go back to school on Monday, and all of my like classmates, they knew of it, or the ones who watched they were like, bro, did I see you on the Richmond channel? And we were shooting our own little acting concepts, or I was working the camera and learning how to pan in and out on a big camera and different skills like that from an early age, bro, since high school. That's crazy.
And that's the thing that like helps with how you are as a creator, and also building fan base is just as important.
Exactly.
Because people grew up with you.
That's what I was about to say.
That's why that's all I aspire for younger people watching this.
That part.
Until we get it to one point where it becomes a part of their psyche.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I was about to say, I've been creating and giving out good content rooted in good positive energy for so long, since like 15, brothers. And I'm a young dude saying I've been doing something 20 years, you know what I mean?
Like a long way to go.
And then exactly, it's just part of what I do and who I am, you know what I mean? But when I look back, it's crazy. Like it's been a part of my DNA.
Man, that's a great way to end the show, bro. We're almost out.
Can I get a water though?
Yeah.
Hello. You have me do the 40 water.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
You better be glad I ain't got my glasses on. I'll really dive into the 40 water right now, man.
Before we go, we want you to give our listeners like where they could find you. One last piece of whatever you want to throw at them.
Okay. On all my social medias is I am Ricky Antonio. You'll be able to find my merchandise and my latest music and different comedies right now. We just dropped a Lover EP right now, produced by DJ TNT. It's going crazy. It's a project solely produced and dedicated to females. Like it's dedicated to, we looked at the landscape of music and just felt like everybody kind of talking about their ops. And don't get me wrong, it's cool to talk about another dude, but I'm only gonna do that for so long. Who gonna talk to them? Like y'all here talking to them? Y'all gonna ignore them? Like, so it's a conversation with the ladies, but in adoration, like really adoring, you know what I mean, adoring them. So it's really dope. So y'all should go download that on all platforms. Also on YouTube, you'll be able to see all of my movies. Is youtube.com/Ricky Antonio. So yeah. Fool with me, man. Independent creators run the world. You hear me?
One more E40 line.
Hold on, man. I ain't talking too fast. You're just listening too slow. Can I get a water, though?
Oh, that's been the voice party.
And we're out.
Hello.
Right on, bro.
Hey, appreciate